can open, align, and release some tension, then we've done a really good job. That's the way that I usually define it. Open, align, release. So the word aerial tends to be really intimidating for some people. So I've kind of skipped the idea that this is some sort of Cirque du Soleil practice, although I love Cirque du Soleil, and I do like playing dress up, so this is very exciting. So it'll be our little butterflies today. But mainly what we want to do is just use this as a therapeutics practice. So if you're feeling a little nervous or a little shy about getting into the swing, don't you worry, we'll take really good care of you. And the good news is it's Sunday. So on Sundays, we get to really just kind of like shift into low gear and be really relaxed about it. And so if you want to try something new and zany and get into some acrobatics and flips, I'm happy to do some of that towards the end. But in general, we're just going to learn how to open and align the spine, create some relief for any sort of congestion or pressure that might be living in the body, particularly in the neck and shoulders and the lower back. These are two major hubs of the body in which I use the swing to help us go deeper in a supported back bend and inversion. And if anybody is injured or wants to share with me, even though I'm recording everything, I welcome you to just have a conversation with me, interact with me one-on-one. If you have any other questions, just direct the energy up here. Don't talk amongst yourselves if you don't mind, just because I find it distracting. I want to give you my full attention. Okay? But besides that, we're relaxed. It's kind of like a semi-private environment that we have like eight swings in a class, so it's different than when you go to a normal yoga class and there could be like 40 people, right? So you get lots of attention, lots of individual attention if you want it. Has anybody here done yoga before? Can you just raise your hand if you've practiced yoga at all? Okay, and then you've done yoga, you can be honest. Okay. So has anybody done any sort of aerial practice before? 1, 2, 3. Great. Has anybody done any playing before? Playground, lovers, playful spirits? No players. We have no players today in the room. Well, any swingers? Do we have any swingers in the room? All right. Now I know who we're working with. I'm just going to push this back a little bit. No matter whether you have experience or not, it's 100% okay. What we're going to do with this swing is probably something completely new than you've ever experienced before. And with that, we're just going to take some yoga translations or yoga inspirations to help us go deeper. So some of the poses will be familiar, and then other ones, they don't really translate exactly. It's kind of like going from Japanese, to English. Not quite. But we'll try. We'll do our best. Okay, whenever we feel like our little hats are in the way, we can always shift them to the side, no problem. But I kind of had an idea that our warm-up lap would be okay to have headgear, and then feel free to take it off. But thank you guys for being willing to play. So what we're going to do is get familiar with the equipment. I make these swings. They're called AirX Yoga Swings, AYRX. So Aerial Yoga RX is the next module of using the swing for therapeutic means. So regenerative therapeutics is what we're focusing on. So these swings have 2 handholds. Follow along with me. Make sure you have everything. We did check the equipment, but we always triple check it just to make sure. We have 2 leg loops, right? And then we have a main swing that spreads out. So it's like this, the extra secret surprise at the bottom of the Cracker Jack box that we actually get to get into the swing and really enjoy it. So let me just show you how this works here, honey. So we're going to get into the inside of the taco. So there's an inside and outside, right? So we want to make sure it isn't twisted, which I think is what you were trying to do, right? Okay, so you'll see each part has an inside and an outside. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes, no, maybe? Please interact with me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So there's an inside to our taco. We want to put everything in the taco, right? That's how we know we're on the inside. It's no big deal. Everything turns over, but the way that they're made is that we actually get it. So the first thing we're going to do is get familiar with our swing. And it's like a new relationship. Like any relationship, we want to be easy about it and take it nice and slow. So we're going to get the swing behind our back and use our forearms to press it down. If the swing is too high for you, we'll bring it down. Why don't we just go ahead and lower this for you so you feel a little bit more comfortable. Bring it down one. Aubrey was here, so she's pretty tiny, but it's okay. We like our tiny friends. We welcome them. Yeah, and then we're going to bring the leg loops down if we bring the swing down. So don't adjust the equipment unless you wave your hand and then wait for me. I'm just really particular about everything working perfectly. So we're going to have the maximum amount of fun while playing safe. So that's the most important thing. We have lots of fun, and then we do it in a safe way. That feels really inviting. So swing behind the back, and then we push our forearms down. Okay, we're going to notice that there's people, there's walls, there's pillars, there's all kinds of stuff. We're just aware of our space, okay? Now, if you sink straight back, the swing is going to be at the lower ribs. So don't let it ride up too high to begin. And then I want you to use your forearms to press. Okay? So forearms up here pressing. Okay? Just follow along and do the best you can. Now we're just going to gently rock from side to side. When we rock from side to side, we're going to walk our feet to the front of the mat. Walk your feet forward, okay? So we can get the swing nice and low by using our forearms to press. So just try making that adjustment. This is how we adjust the swing, because we are going to hang by our underarms, which is very different, and we're not used to supporting our weight with our arms, so we're going to take it nice and slow. So the swing doesn't spread out. We keep the swing all bunched up for this part, okay? Great. Now once we're here, we're going to sumo squat. So walk your feet wide, let your toes trace the shape of the mat. You'll notice I have these really cute red circular mats. So in a sumo squat, we're sinking our hips down all the way. Pretend like you're sitting in a chair, so straight up and down, okay? So if we are doing this, that means our lower back is really tight, and we're going to miss out on that awesome feeling of tractioning the spine out of the pelvis and getting some space in between the vertebrae. Everybody walk your feet to the front of the mat, and then slightly out to the sides. Where's the front of the mat, honey? All the way forward with your feet, please. That's back. Walk all the way forward. So come here with your feet. Come here with your feet. Here we go. All the way, please. Front of the mat. Thank you. Okay, good. We're going to use this. There we go. We're going to use this to inform our space, right? Beautiful. Feel free to put your masks on if you like. Hold on. Just so you don't take me so seriously. I have an intense personality, so sometimes this helps. Sometimes it's just scary. You're like, no, take the mask off. Oh, that's so nice. I like looking at you. I'm like, yay, if you feel like being zany, put your mask on. All right, now that we figured out sumo squat, woo, there we go, feathers. We're going to press back again. Leave your feet exactly where they are and just press back, and notice that this takes pressure off the underarms, right? Yes? Yes. Feels better? Nice. And then go ahead and use your forearm press, but go ahead and sit down. And when you sit down, I need to come back up. My eyelashes. So, I'm like, I can't see you guys. I used to just blue feathers. So when I sit down, I'm going to drop my hips. Just see if you can get to that relationship with the body. So now you're holding on with your arms, right? It's intense. So these are our upright positions. We will try some inversions today. It'll be really fun. So why don't we just go ahead and stay in our sumo squat. This is called a pendulum swing, right? Just nice and easy. We're going to rock forward and back. Try to keep your hips as relaxed as possible. So, Aubrey, you're the only one who looks like you need to bring your swing up. Everybody else looks good.
Sweet.
Are you? Okay. So what we want to do is make sure that our hips, when we're being honest, when we drop them, they're level with our knees. And you guys all look great. We can always bring the swing up or down to just kind of meet your needs, but you can trust me that the swing is in a good spot for everyone. And they do stretch, right? And so it might wind up as we practice that you want the swing a little higher because it stretches out a little bit, but whatever works for you. Press back one more time. So jazz hands, open up wide. This is called rock star. Feel like a rock star. And then go ahead and support your head. So you might feel your neck is a little tight, right? Like addressing things that I'm feeling in the body. So let's go ahead and let the heart open in a supported back bend here. And at the same time, let the elbows flare out wide and let the head relax back into your hands. See if you can just bend one knee. Let's all bend the left knee and then press straight back and then bend the right knee. And we're going to try to synchronize swim. So if fishies can do it, we can do it, right? So go ahead and bend the right knee. There you go. And then bend the left knee. If we don't synchronize swim, we're going to wind up playing bumper cars, which is totally okay. We just apologize in advance and let your neighbor know how much you love them. But like if we can avoid any unnecessary kicking and screaming, no. Let's just try and sync up as much as we can. So I'll do my best to say things backwards and direct you guys. So we're going to press back and then to the left and then back and to the right. Now I'm saying it backwards, but if you also get your left and right confused, don't worry about it. Just look at your neighbor and try to sync up with them. And we all stay together, okay? So one more breath here. Press back and to the right. and then stay once you're back. Okay, once you're back, I go ahead and open up again for jazz hands. Feel like a rock star. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Forearm press. Really good, guys. Let's go ahead and heel toe the feet together. This is our warm-up lap of just getting used to hanging in the swing. I promise you we won't stay here for the entire time, hanging by the underarms. But I want you to feel the massage happening behind the heart. Start to open up some of that stickiness. And now we're just letting our hips explore in the space. I call this Weeping Willow. We're just going to do our little sway from side to side. And then from Weeping Willow, we're going to add our arms again. Okay, so if you ever need to support the neck, we're going to clasp the hands behind the head, lean back into it, and then just sway from side to side. Just let it feel good. So it's so nice to get that feeling of floating and of flying and that sensation of being held. So just let the swing rock you and let that feel good. If there's any undue stress, then see if you can just soften in the body. Usually that helps. Usually the pain is part of our kind of contraction and resistance against the swing. And let's see if we can go with it for a little bit. So I'm going to run you through some restorative practices and therapeutics. We'll get into a little dynamic strengthening, and then maybe a couple inversions or acrobatics if we're feeling playful. But I promise you everything that I give you today you can do, but feel free to make your own version, your own variation of it. And then we'll help you and assist you whenever is needed. You can just kind of wave at us or call out if you feel like you need anything. Inhale, open the arms wide. One more forearm press. Okay, we're going to rock forward and back. See if you can come all the way forward so your knees almost touch the ground. Almost. So use your forearm press, honey, the whole time. Take your arms and press them above your head into the swing. What's your friend's name again?
Blanca.
Blanca. Yes, forearm press, please. There you go. In front of your face. Blanca, hands in front of your face. Yes, yes, there you go. Work with the mess. There you go. This is going to hold up the upper body. Really good. Okay, so we're just rocking forward and back, okay? So next time we rock back, we're going to pick up our right knee and shoot it back, and then the left knee is going to come forward. So forward lunge on the left knee bent, right foot back, toes tucked under if you want, okay? That way we can lift up if we need to off the knee. Now when we push our forearms in, we're going to inhale and stretch, stretch, stretch our heart up towards the sky. So lift the sternum as you drop the hips. Feel that big tractioning through the front of the belly. It should feel intense. That looks beautiful, but it also should feel really good. Okay, exhale, come back to neutral. Push your hips forward and just pause. And then one more time, inhale, press your arms in strongly. Press, 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 and come on up. So sternum lifts. You might actually want to relax your head back towards your heel. If that's too far, just stay at neutral. Okay, everyone come back up. Let's straighten the legs. I'm just doing some yoga translations with you where you can feel how we use the swings, similar to we would in a yoga class, but maybe go a little bit deeper and feel like we're not collapsing in our spine, but we're getting that lift. Let's just neutralize our hips by swaying from side to side again. Whenever you feel like you need a break, this is also a good place to come back to. Okay, let's come through neutral, pick up the left knee and shoot it back. Once we bend the right knee, we're going to come forward. So front toes to the front of the mat, the front toes, back toes to the back of the mat. All the way forward. There you go, thank you. Stretch it out. So push your hips forward and then lift your heart towards the sky, pressing your forearms strongly into the swing. Get a big stretch through the quad. If anybody is feeling their neck here, use your chilaxin arms. Clasp your hands behind the back of your head and lift in a way that lets your neck be happy. Okay, exhale, come back to neutral. Oh, good, everybody's preferring chilaxin arms, got it. Okay, go ahead and lift the chest, lean back into it. Let it feel good today. So we don't have to work too hard, right? We really just want to get a taste of how we can use the swing and enjoy the buffet. All right, come on back to neutral. Really good, guys. Return to your forearm press. Everyone return to your forearm press for this one. Okay? Straighten both legs. We're going to push our hips towards the sky. Let's go ahead and keep on the left side and roll into the outer edge of the foot. So I flex my right foot back and I'm going to do a twist. Right? So when I twist, I look over my left shoulder and I drop my hips straight down. So we're going this way with the knee. Yeah. So left leg bends and we step over and then our gaze is towards the left if we can. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Wring out the spine. Inhale, pick the knee up, come back to neutral. Just take a moment to wiggle. If anybody is feeling their arms starting to complain, go ahead and lean back into the back bend. Open up your arms, jazz hands, rock star, and then push the swing down a little bit and come back to your forearm press. Okay, everybody good? Got the rhythm down. Let's pick up our right knee, roll into the outer edge of the left, and come into a reclined twist. So what we want to do is twist our gaze away from our knee. So we gaze towards the right, the knee goes towards the left, and we're wringing out the spine. It's kind of like a reclined twist on the floor, but like way different. You'll feel the side body open deeply. Everybody twist a little bit more with your knee coming over to the left. There you go. Perfect. Everybody feel your side body? All that stickiness and tightness across the love handles starting to release. All right, great. Pick the foot up. Come on back through center. Let's heel toe our feet wide into a sumo squat, maybe even wider than we have before. So I call it like the center line on the outer edge. Okay, good. What we're going to do is shift our torso forward but sink our hips back. See if we can catch with our arms, right? Wide straddle forward fold. Kind of like we would do in yoga, but our arms are hooked, right? And so we bend our elbows, straight legs if you can, nice long spine, so make an L shape with your body. Hang out here and just pause. So now we're giving our back a break, give our underarms a break. And our forearms, we're hanging on by our elbow crease, might also feel a little sensitive. Keep the hands nice and engaged, but see if you can relax the rest of the body. Nice long line of energy from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Just shift gently from side to side. Now, as you're shifting gently from side to side, maybe you add a little twist. So let your gaze trace the shape of the mat so that when you get to the edges, you can pause and feel a nice deep stretch through the outer shin. Let's try to sync up. We're all going to come to center and pause, and then shift to the left. Look over your left toes. Come to center, pause, shift to the right. Bring out that tension that also lives along the intercostals and the ribs, and we shift back to the left, through center, shift to the right. Okay, so if our hips are over our heels, I call it a wide straddle forward fold. You're doing great. Hold on strongly with your forearms. What we're going to do is we're going to shift into a peppermint patty. So we push our hips forward all the way. I know. Little kisses to the cheeks. It's very Italian. And then shift back. Really good. So we're stretching the shoulders.
I think mine's a little low.
You seem fine. You just have to you have to lean forward with your hips. Lean forward with your hips. Keep going. So look how I'm on a diagonal. You have to lean forward.
Yeah, but my knees are...
It's supposed to be challenging.
Yeah.
So I would have to drop my knees too, right? If I didn't push my legs straight. So you have to trust the swing to hold you. Don't do it if you're not comfortable doing it. Yeah. Just it's a little tough trusting the swing. That's why we practice this whole idea of like whoop. There you go. And then woo, shift back. Yeah, it's a little challenging. We can always bring this swing higher, but then the poses would be harder in some of the other things, and we can experiment. It's no problem. Let's bend the left knee and drop into a little bit of a side lunge here. And then straight legs, bend the right knee, shift from side to side. Just open up that inner thigh. Nice. There you go. Feel free to shift from side to side at your own pace. I like that. You don't need me. Just keep going. You're doing great. Moment to pause and center. Let's just do a little bit of shoulder opening and dynamic strength. Release the left hand down. Right underneath your gaze is kind of like a little football stance, a little bit more forward to let your fingers touch the front of the mat. There we go. So we're going to wring out the spine, twist, and look up towards the right side. So pull down strongly with your top arm if you can. So the swing is working to help you twist. So I make a fist with my right hand and I pull down. And then I'm just going to exhale and pause and look down towards the ground. Inhale, spin and lengthen. Make a fist with your hand and pull it towards your chest. Yeah, nice and strong. That's it. Nice. Exhale, lengthen. Just look down. Inhale, twist, string out the spine, twist, 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 and then exhale, look down towards your left fingertips. Now from here, see if you can straighten the top arm. So when your arm straightens, you're going to grab the swing with your hand. Okay, get a nice grip, and then bring it overhead. Okay, now if you look up, you'll see there's an X. Thread both hands through. And then drop the chest. Yeah, make sure your costume is working for you. There you go. Drop the chest. And if for any reason the elbows are starting to scream, go ahead and bend the elbows, and that way the shoulders can be happy. I should use more like Halloween language today. If you have a screeching lower back in this position, straighten the arms if you can. Bent elbows is 100% okay. Okay, we're all going to inhale, press, 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 come to stand. So you'll notice that we're using our arms here. This is the dynamic strengthening. Exhale, go ahead and lower your chest back down to the earth and pause. And then inhale, press, 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 come up. So we're opening up the upper thoracic spine here. And at the same time, we're starting to strengthen and stretch the shoulders. One more time, inhale, press, 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 come on up. Doing great. Release the left hand. It's going to come back behind you. Bring it up overhead, and when you bend the elbow, it's going to get the swing out, and then we come to second side. You had it? Yeah. Drop into the elbows. You guys, it's tricky, huh? Very clever. So football stance, right fingertips pulling forward a little bit. Yeah. Grab to the front of the mat. Looks good. Twist and look towards the sky. So left fist pulling down towards the chest will help you wring out the spine. Go ahead and take a nice big inhale, and then exhale, relax into that. Inhale, twist, just pulse with your breath. Exhale, look down. Inhale, go ahead and twist. Go as far as you can. Twist, twist, twist. And then exhale, relax. Okay, one more time. Straighten that top arm. So left hand catches the swing. All you have to do is straighten your arm, and your hand will catch it. Yep, straighten the arm. All right, swing it overhead. And the same thing, we grab the swing with both hands, but there's no X, so we're just going to bend the elbows a lot. Everybody bend the elbows for this one. So now we're going to do our little shimmy or shifting from side to side. We're adding like a little twist with our side lunge. Don't go too far if it feels like a strain on the shoulders, but just play on how, is everybody's back happy? So sometimes in the wide straddle forward folds in yoga, we can overuse our back and then have some pain in these poses, and in this particular version it feels really good to use our arms because we get the bonus of getting nice and strong as well as the flexibility to open up. Come to neutral when you're ready. Let's do a little tricep curls here. Your knees can be bent if it's too much. You're like my mask. And then we're going to press, press, press and come to stand. Press all the way up. Use your arms instead of your back. If it feels really hard, that means you used your arms, right? So nice and slow, lower down. That looks great. Bend your elbows and hang. Kiss the heart towards the ground at the bottom. And then inhale, press, 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 lift. Press, 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 press. Straight arms all the way up. Doing great. Exhale, come on down. I promise this is as hard as we're going to work today, too. You're like, this is really hard. I don't know. But no, we'll do more restorative after this. Just press, 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 come to stand. All right. So that was how we could use our upper body, start to open up into some back bends. Let's go ahead and come to stand. If anybody needs a little sip of water, a little mini break, this would be a good time. We're going to come into some forward folds with the swing at our hips. So if you need a PP, the swing's going to tell you. And it'll immediately tell you. But we're not going to put the swing at our waist or our bladder. We're going to push our arms straight and get the swing. Everybody's body is the same sacred geometry, I promise you. So with your arms straight, the swing will hit the top of the legs. Okay? And we're going to do the same thing that we did before, where we keep our feet in the center of the mat this time. And we lean forward. So you're going to have to trust the swing to hold you. There you go. And once you lean forward, you're going to come into a forward fold at the hip creases. So not the waist, but at your hips. So your hips, come on down. So your hips are going to be at the front of the mat, and your toes are going to be in the center. I know, it takes a little bit of trust. Okay. Why don't you go ahead and bring her swing up one so she feels a little bit more comfortable. Everybody else, even though it might feel a little intense, I promise you you're in the right place. So, no, not her, honey. Oh, the blonde hair, pardon me. All right, I'm going to go the same direction as you guys so I can see what you're doing. So from our forward fold, you're going to reach back and grab for your ankles. If you can lean forward into it, your hips are going to be towards the front of the mat. So you have to lean into it, lean forward into it. For some reason, 90% of the people that I work with have trouble trusting the swing. So I'm going to come around and help you. And don't move your feet, honey.
Okay.
Hip distance. And then you're leaning into it. You're just going to have
Wow.
to twist all the way.
Yep.
Lean into it.
Really?
Pick your heels up. Push into your toes. All the way. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah, totally different. So now what you're doing is you're bending at the hip creases instead of your waist.
Oh
There.
my God.
There you go. It's a totally different pose.
Thank you.
Yeah, it takes a lot of trust.
Wow.
So you have to lean forward with your hips. Let's do it. No, bring your head up. Feet stay at the center of the mat. Straight arms. Okay. So lean forward with your hips, not your head. Hi. There you go. Yes. Yes, you did it. Good. And then come on down. Hands down. I know your hands got caught a little there. So keep, so relax your arms. Relax your arms. Okay, keep your feet exactly where they are and just lean into it. Lean into it. It's totally different, yeah?
Yeah.
Takes a little trust at the swing. So I need you to lean forward all the way. Don't move your feet. Lean forward. Lean forward. Don't move your feet.
No te muevas los pies.
Okay. So, yeah, bring the one who doesn't speak English to the swing class.
She does a lot.
I'm just teasing. You have to lean forward, love. Lean forward. Yeah, there it is. There you go. Let your arms hang. Let your arms hang. Hang. Don't move them. Just let them hang. Bend the elbows and hang. There you go. Just do the best you can.
1 or 2.
All right. So higher is harder. We don't necessarily want to bring it higher.
Her head's like way on.
I was on the ground.
Yeah, your head should be touching the ground. That's the whole idea in the
No
pose. If you walk
empujes.
our feet forward,
Así.
her head would be on the ground. So walk your feet to the center of the mat.
Try it now.
We don't want to bring the swing too
You know,
high because it makes it harder on your hips, right?
Right.
Yeah, so just take a few moments. Just do the best you can. I'd love for you to work with her and help her lean into it. So your feet are here. Your arms are relaxed. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay? If it's too high, we'll bring it back down, but that's totally fine as long as you don't mind the pressure.
Come back up.
Okay, so ideally your head would be really close to the ground. So like our friend here. So if your head, your torso is actually the same length as your legs. That's what I'm trying to get at with the forward fold at the hips. So if we do it correctly, this distance here is the same as this distance here. So yeah, that looks great then. All right, just sway from side to side a little bit. Get used to that pressure. Okay? Go ahead and lean forward even more. You keep rolling back into your heels. Come onto your tippy toes. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Take a couple deep breaths there. Let it feel good. Looks so much better. It's okay.
Yeah. Just that with my pants. I think I gotta pull my pants up.
Little twist.
And then push it down. Yeah. You can spread it out a little bit like that. Fine.
So does everybody here practice headstand normally? No?
Yeah.
No. It's okay. I don't expect you to practice headstand, but I am going to give you a headstand that you can do